especially if you're ever thinking about running like home services, could potentially do pretty good because you can do a location insertion. So you can add in like the city or the state into the headline of the article, right? So right now, that's something that you can't really do on Facebook. You can do it on Google, but you can't really do it on Facebook. And for example, like you can be running like um, I don't know, plumber in Miami or dentist in Orlando or whatever might be the case, just by doing it here in Newsbreak and segmenting like that has quite a bit of volume, and then and the CPC can be very attractive and affordable. It's good in the sense that you can target specific areas and specific neighborhoods, and the CPMs are pretty cheap. You can get down to a specific like zip code. So, for example, if you're running like a dental campaign, and let's say your buyer was like Aspen, and they'll give you like a list of zip codes, and then you want to target those areas, right? Uh, you can do that with like Newsbreak. Will allow you to do some type of like dynamic location insertion. So it will be like dentist in, Miami Beach, or it will be, whatever else you're running. That's where I kind of like see it as beneficial in the sense that you can kind of like target, as I said, you can target that specific location and have it in your ad copy, which is going to make a huge difference than when you're running like kind of like nationwide, or you're not doing that. You can also do that in the lander, but if you want to do it in the ads itself, then definitely recommend that you take a look into Newsbreak. The Newsbreak is pretty straightforward, very similar to what you will see in Facebook as far as features goes. So you can run like a conversion campaign, or website traffic. Um, those two are the ones that make the most sense. Probably you want to use conversion if you want to use some type of pixel and postback. So this will be, I don't know, dental services, and go ahead and click save and next. And then here you just create your ad, very similar to how you will create your ad in Facebook. Then here's how you want to choose and track your event. So we already have like a post back here, but if you want to create a new one, you can just come in and says create new event. And then you can go ahead and either use like GTM, pixel, postback, however you want to do it. So if you use Google Tag Manager, you can select that and then choose your conversion. So in the case of pay-per-call, you probably want to use a contact or click button, just depending on what it is that you're optimizing for, or you can just create your own custom one if that makes more sense, and enter a value if it makes more sense. That's just like your regular pixel creation, nothing crazy here. Once you have your pixel, right, then go ahead and continue. Now, Newsbreak has this thing, which is going to be in the next step, but they call it like a full screen takeover. So when you log into the app, pretty much your ad, it will be like the whole full white screen. So that's something that I think is like, it's kind of new. They had it for a while, but now they roll it out, push it out. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So as far as demographic goes, nothing new here. Most of the traffic is US, so I recommend you stick with US. I think they have about 50 million active subscribers, something like that. So, US, gender, you can have a male, female, age groups. This specific um, app tends to lean on the senior side, so in the 45 plus, 65 plus. Language have good majorities English, but they also have some kind of Spanish traffic, so you can choose Spanish too. As far as audiences go, you can create audience, just like you can create audience on Facebook. So if you have a list of emails, you can make a custom audience, and then you can include and exclude your custom audience. Interest, same thing. You can customize it as far as like education, jobs, blah, blah, blah. Here's your main categories where you can include or exclude. And devices, same thing, if you want people only in Wi-Fi or, whatever, you only want iPhones or whatever might be the case, you can do that as well. Here's a delivery on when you want the campaign to deliver. So you can set the start time and end time and your budget. New feature, you can now schedule budget increases in advance on certain weekdays. For example, bidding competition less intense and weekends, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's perfect. So you can increase budget in specific date. I haven't tried this, but seems to be very useful if I can maybe lower my budget, certain day and increase it other days. I haven't tried that, so I don't want to touch on that. The optimization is conversion, obviously. That's what we selected in the previous one. Now they have the target CPA or maximize conversion. So the target CPA is pretty similar to Facebook. You will tell them, this is the target CPA, and the algorithm will try to come close to it. And, maximize conversion, just send as many as possible. So what do I recommend? I recommend that, maybe your first campaign or your first, if it's a brand new pixel, you just do like maximize conversion. So you have some data on it. And then, your second campaign and so on. Once you have data on it, once the algorithm knows what a conversion is, then I will do like target CPA and I will try to bring that CPA down as much as possible. Okay. The creative optimization, I'm not sure what this is, but I'm assuming that it's just to rotate whichever creative is better. Let me set a start date, a daily budget. All right. So here's where you come to the ad process. Let me make this smaller. Okay. And pretty similar again to Facebook, where you can choose your image, you can upload it here, you can have a logo as well, and you can have a brand name. So this will be like, I don't have a logo for it, but if you did have a logo, then you can include your little logo there. And this will be your landing page. So make sure that it works. But here's where I was talking about earlier, where you can make it dynamic, right, to the content. So here's the options that you got, right? So you have the device that they're using, and then you have now here the state, the city, you have the year, the month, the day of the week, and today's date, right? So if you're running like some type of not emergency, but some type of urgency, like this deal is only available, it expires today at midnight, then you can do that where the day will be included. Or if you'll be like, we're now offering like super duper dental implants in whatever city it is. So the title here will show the city, right? So that's what I was referring to as far as making the ad feel more local for the consumer, right? The description, nothing new here. You have the description, blah, 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 as well as have, the options that you had above, which is like state, city, and the year and the device. So seniors are getting, dental, blah, blah. And then you can have like, this offer expires today, right? So this will be automatically inserted into the copy, making it more dynamic. Up to you if you want to do like learn more or, whatever it is the case, open, claim. I don't know if you have any claim, sign up, get started. All of those, try which one works best for you. And the image. And that's about it. That's as far as like Newsbreak goes. Right?